Today I'm going to show you how to increase your FOV inside of Starfield using a secret config file tweak, as well as how to mod in DLSS upscaling for improved FPS and even better visuals on top of my settings video that I released yesterday. So we'll start off with the FOV fix. By default, the FOV is really low in Starfield. It's somewhere around 70 or 80. Definitely lower than most people would ever want it at. We want to bump it up to around 100 at least. What you want to do is open up your Windows Explorer and you're going to go to this folder. It's your documents folder under your main user, My Games, and then Starfield. You should just have this data folder and this ini file in here. What you're going to do is you're going to copy this Starfield prefs ini file and paste it, and you'll get this copy. You're then going to rename it to Starfield with a capital S, capital C for custom.ini. Then you want to open this up. I'll drag this over so you guys can see it. This has got all the stuff we just copied in from the previous one. You're just going to select it all, delete all of it, and you're going to paste in what I have down in the description. You'll have an FOV here for first person as well as third person, which you can change individually to your liking. I find that 100 looks great in this game, and I don't think you need to change it, but it's all personal preference. When we've done this, we can then save this file, close it down, and when we open up Starfield, we will have increased FOV, which I'll show you in just a sec. Next up, we'll be modding DLSS into the game in place of FSR2 for some nice FPS gains. I will show you some tests of that when we've got it put in there. By default, we only have FSR2 inside of Starfield due to the partnership with AMD. Now, to get this working, we're going to have to download 3 different things from Nexus Mods. I'll have all 3 of those links in the description below. You will also have to sign up to Nexus Mods in order to complete any of these downloads. Only takes a couple of clicks, so go and do that. The first thing you'll need is the Starfield Upscaler mod. You can come to the website, go to Files, go to Manual Download on the standalone version, and then just select Slow Download. The Starfield Upscaling mod depends on the UpscalerBasePlugin, which I'll have the link for below as well. Once again, you just come to the files and then you're going to do the manual download on the UpscalerBasePlugin. The last thing we'll need is the latest compatible version of Nvidia DLSS, the DLL file for that. So come back to the description of the UpscalerBasePlugin, scroll down to this link to DLSS/DLAA, and then just click over here, download on the latest DLSS DLL file. Now that we've got all 3 of those downloaded, we can start moving them into the places they need to be. Make sure you follow along. This can get a little bit finicky. You want to come to the area that you've actually got Starfield installed. For me, that's in here with a bunch of my other games. You open that up, you open up the content folder, and you'll be left with the inner contents of the game. You then need to open up the Starfield Upscaler standalone zip file, and you're just going to grab the 2 things in here, which is a mods folder and a DLL file, and you're going to drop that at the same level as all of this stuff in the content folder, just like that. Next is the UpscalerBasePlugin, so open up that zip file and you'll have an UpscalerBasePlugin folder. If you open up the mods folder next in the Starfield area, you've got, once again, another UpscalerBasePlugin folder. So just drag this folder from the zip over to this folder. It should merge with this one, and you should now have a fTPWorldFOV DLL inside of the UpscalerBasePlugin folder. And the last thing we need to move is the DLSS DLL, so open up that last zip file. There's just a DLL in here, and you're going to place this alongside the fTPWorldFOV DLL inside of the UpscalerBasePlugin folder. What a mouthful. And now that we've done all of this, we can open up our game. So now we're finally in game, and you can instantly see the effect of the FOV change from earlier. It's just insane how much better the game feels when you're playing at a nice high FOV. You feel like you're just moving a lot quicker. You get to see a lot more of the incredible visuals of the game as well. So it's a no-brainer to turn that up. Now for the DLSS mod, the first thing you need to make sure you have on, which you should have already, is the FSR2 upscaling enabled, because what's happening is we are replacing the FSR2 while it's running with DLSS. If you were to turn this off, you would just get no upscaling, so make sure it's on. You then need to press the N key on your keyboard, which is above the arrow keys on the right, and you should get this little menu in the top left-hand corner there. To actually play around with this menu, you'll need to just press escape to gain access to the mouse. By default, this is actually already enabled. We've got the sharpening enabled as well. You can control the sharpness and sharpening amount from here. We've got a bunch of these DLSS presets. Honestly, just keep it a preset F. It is the best, and you can go and read all about that on the Nvidia website about these presets. Just trust me, preset F looks the best. Below this, you can then see what resolution the game's actually being rendered in, as opposed to what resolution your monitor is displaying the game at. So if we come into the settings area, you can see my render resolution scale is currently set at 75%, which is 1080p or 1920 by 1080. Let's do a quick FPS comparison now, comparing DLSS and FSR2. You can see at the moment the FPS in the top right hand corner as I stand here with DLSS on. I'm hitting around high 70s, peaking around 78, 79 or so. If I press escape and turn off DLSS, so now we should just be running the base FSR2, and we come back and just let it settle. 77, sitting around 77, 78, 77. So it really is only a couple of FPS difference. That difference might extrapolate more if we're in some more stressful situations in the game that are stressing your system a bit more, or if we were to come in and lower the render resolution a little bit, you might see that gap push out even further. So it's definitely worth going and grabbing this DLSS and downloading it and seeing if it works for you. It only takes a couple of minutes. If you don't like it, you can quite easily just remove everything we added earlier. But I know a lot of people really like DLSS and how it looks, so I wanted to show you how to do it anyway. Next thing you need to do is go and watch this video where I cover through all of the graphics settings in Starfield in depth, making sure we're achieving the maximum FPS possible whilst also maintaining incredible visuals.